This is why I believe that Kenyans will not vote William Ruto 2027. I want us to take a look and listen to this shocking video clip exposing the current head of state seems to surrender before 2027.
Some voted for him, some didn't. But he is the president. He stood on the podium with a Bible in one hand and the hustler narrative in the other. Some believed in the hustler dream, others doubted it. But when the dust of the 2022 election settled, he took the oath, raised his hand, and became the president of the Republic of Kenya. He promised real change, bottom-up change. He said Mama Mboga would be respected, that the boy pushing a mkokoteni in Gikombaa mattered just as much as a CEO in Upper Hill, that no one would be left behind. But today, even those who voted for him are asking, where is that Kenya we were promised? A young graduate in Kisii who once chanted, "Freedom is coming," now sells secondhand shoes just to afford airtime. A mother in Kakamega watches her child cry at night, not from fever, but from hunger. A boda rider in Eldoret, the president's own backyard, now spends half his day's earnings on fuel alone. Gen Z is not just angry, they're wounded. They log in daily, not just to tweet, but to testify. They see billions allocated to foreign trips, luxury cars, and government mansions, while their own families ration porridge and pray for light during blackouts. They wanted a government that listens. Instead, they got speeches. They wanted opportunities. Instead, they got taxes. They asked for laptops in schools, but got empty classes with no teachers. From the student in Mombasa to the hawker in Nairobi, the question keeps getting louder. If this is the bottom-up economy, why does it feel like we're being buried at the bottom? They call it the hustler government, but the real hustlers are now barely surviving. The cost of living has climbed like a thief in the night, silently, steadily, and stolen the peace from Kenyan homes. Kenyans were told to tighten their belts. But how do you tighten what's already choking you? How do you fasten your hope to a system that keeps breaking your back? A single mother in Mathar works 2 jobs, but her rent just went up. Her electricity bill doubled, even though the bulb in her one-room house stays off most nights. Her daughter had dreams of being a doctor, but the HELB loan came late, and when it did, it wasn't enough. In Nyanza, fishermen can't afford boat fuel. In Central, farmers wonder why they grow food yet still buy it at triple the price. Meanwhile, Parliament debates salary increases. State House hosts lavish dinners. Leaders wear suits worth more than a year's salary for the average Kenyan. And Gen Z, the generation they once mocked as keyboard warriors, is awake now. They're not clout chasing, they're future chasing. They've watched their dreams burn in the fires of broken promises, and now they're speaking out, not just for themselves, but for generations being raised on hopelessness. They ask why billions are spent abroad while schools in Samburu still use stones for desks. They ask why taxes increase, yet services vanish. They ask why they were told to believe, only to be punished for believing. Some voted for him, some didn't. But all of them feel the weight. All of them carry the cost. And so the nation asks, tired, desperate, but still hoping, when will leadership stop being about power and start?
Welcome to this broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for your continued support. We are still proceeding with our political observation in this country. The video clip is exposing the current head of state when he took an oath 2022 in Kasarani, and we are all aware how things went there. But specifically, the video is exposing step by step the promises and all the agendas William Ruto had to the people in the Republic of Kenya. The big question which I asked myself after I had listened to that video, and also of course I'm asking you at this moment, what are some of the agendas the current head of state had fulfilled? It is a clear indication that we now ought to learn from a fig tree, that in every life any human being makes in this situation, it is all about listening, understanding, and fulfilling. And that is what the current head of state is not after. We are all aware that 25th there is going to be a demonstration. I asked the government and even tweeted in their partial account, what is your main aim? Why don't you ask yourself, why are Kenyan's youth storming the street? It is like something written in the wall. And written in the wall is also well illustrated in the Bible. When those who are in power refused to listen to whatever the people were telling them. So there was written some writing in the wall. Mene mene tekel parsin. So according to this situation, Kenyans are calling for justice. And that video is exposing what William Ruto is up to now. There are no promises which have been fulfilled apart from this free housing, which I of course again asked them. During Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's time, Uhuru never asked Kenyans to pay taxes. Why this administration making Kenyans to pay taxes in this housing project? I furthermore extended by saying, what is their aim or vision and dream? Assume we have something to put on the table, that this UDA administration have done this and that, apart from making these people to suffer more. They have gone to an extent of even dismantle the Kibaki's free education. Of course, next year, we are not going to have that free education. I inquired and even had some discussion with other politicians. Now, the video is indicating what next. So this is the only advice I can give any Kenyans watching me outside there. Election will come and go. But before election goes, have two superior weapons. Number one, your vote. Number two, your brain. Don't vote for someone because he or she has billions of money in the account, not really. Don't vote for someone because he is so energetic, not really. Leadership is all about understanding that the government which I want to make is made by the people, according to Abraham Lincoln thought, the former head of state in the United States of America. That is how we describe leadership. The second point, we must now come to conclusion and understand that we are all Kenyans united, born and raised in this country. Should we just shed blood when someone raises a voice to speak? Should we just plan to abduct someone when a Kenyan citizen raises a voice to speak? Under which article allows that? That is why we are forgetting. And after we've been given that chance to rule, we forget where we come from. And the only thing we can give is the arrest and some awkward movement in the leadership. The truth of the matter is that if you want to know a true measure of a man, give him power. You will understand and you will know how this man behaves. We have and we must now understand that if any Kenyan given power to rule, for instance, today I become the governor or the Senate, there must be something wrong if I change my character. And there are three things always change human being character. The first one is money. The second one is pride. The third one is lack of knowledge or wisdom. As much as you are a leader, you must also in some extent acquire wisdom from God. It's normally happen. We are all human beings. But if you lack knowledge or wisdom, all shall remain vanity. Now look at RUTO, how he's completing his presidency. is the first head of state who is now experiencing all these political dramatic scenes we are seeing in this country. When I try to peruse the late Kibaki's administration, I never encounter with this. What about Uhuru Kenyatta? Uhuru Kenyatta did a little part of it, which made Kenyans to be angry. But he tried and acted as a compassionate father to all nations. So this is a lesson which I expect UDA administration also to learn. Because this video is exposing so far where they are up to now. As I conclude, we are approaching election. Election has different thoughts. Each and every person has his own or her agenda. I have listened to politicians how they speak. Their words are not even bringing unity. Their words are not even creating development at all. We have forgotten even to bring development in the rural areas. We have forgotten to make more achievement to vulnerable Kenyans. Today, I might have that courage to afford something. But what about other Kenyan who lives places like Turkana, who lives places like Isiolo? Those are the things we ought to ask, that if this government is formed, how are other people going to survive? Today, 95% of Kenyans are saying no to this administration. It means that there are so many indications that the current head of state might not get it better 2027. Ladies and gentlemen, you've watched and listened to that video clip. I rest my case at this point. But before I conclude, if you are watching me for the first time in this broadcast, I request you kindly do me a favor, take a 1 second, click that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like my videos, watch, share, and give us your opinion. To those of you who had subscribed to this broadcast, I want to say thank you so much for a great support. Actually, we are moving very well, and as I told you, road to 11,000 subscribers, and it is our hope and prayer that by the end of this year we might make it even 20 or 30. I rest my case at this point, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.